Lesson 95. I am one self, united with my Creator. Today's idea accurately describes you as God created you. You are one within yourself and one with Him. Yours is the unity of all creation. Your perfect unity makes change in you impossible. You do not accept this, and you fail to realize it must be so only because you believe you have changed yourself already. You see yourself as a ridiculous parody on God's creation, weak, vicious, ugly, and sinful, miserable, and beset with pain. Such is your version of yourself, a self divided into many warring parts, separate from God and tenuously held together by its erratic and capricious maker to which you pray. It does not hear your prayers, for it is deaf. It does not see the oneness in you, for it is blind. It does not understand you are the Son of God, for it is senseless and understands nothing. We will attempt today to be aware only of what can hear and see and what makes perfect sense. We will again direct our exercises towards reaching your one self, which is united with its Creator. In patience and in hope, we try again today. The use of the first 5 minutes of every waking hour for practicing the idea for the day has special advantages at the stage of learning in which you are at present. It is difficult at this point not to allow your mind to wander if it undertakes extended practice. You have surely realized this by now. You have seen the extent of your lack of mental discipline and of your need for mind training. It is necessary that you be aware of this, for it is indeed a hindrance to your advance. Frequent but shorter practice periods have other advantages for you at this time. In addition to recognizing your difficulties with sustained attention, you must also have noticed that unless you are reminded of your purpose frequently, you tend to forget about it for long periods of time. You often fail to remember the short applications of the idea for the day, and you have not yet formed the habit of using the idea as an automatic response to temptation. Structure, then, is necessary for you at this time, planned to include frequent reminders of your goal and regular attempts to reach it. Regularity in terms of time is not the ideal requirement for the most beneficial form of practice in salvation. It is advantageous, however, for those whose motivation is inconsistent and who remain heavily defended against learning. We will therefore keep to the 5 minutes an hour practice periods for a while and urge you to omit as few as possible. Using the first 5 minutes of the hour will be particularly helpful since it imposes firmer structure. Do not, however, use your lapses from this schedule as an excuse not to return to it again as soon as you can. There may well be a temptation to regard the day as lost because you have already failed to do what is required. This should, however, merely be recognized as what it is, a refusal to let your mistake be corrected and an unwillingness to try again. The Holy Spirit is not delayed in His teaching by your mistakes. He can be held back only by your unwillingness to let them go. Let us therefore be determined, particularly for the next week or so, to be willing to forgive ourselves for our lapses in diligence and our failures to follow the instructions for practicing the day's idea. This tolerance for weakness will enable us to overlook it, rather than give it power to delay our learning. If we give it power to do this, we are regarding it as strength, and are confusing strength with weakness. When you fail to comply with the requirements of this course, you have merely made a mistake. This calls for correction and for nothing else. To allow a mistake to continue is to make additional mistakes. That's big. Based on the first and reinforcing it, it is this process that must be laid aside, for it is but another way in which you would defend illusions against the truth. Let all these errors go by, recognizing them for what they are. They are attempts to keep you unaware that you are one self, united with your Creator, at one with every aspect of creation, and limitless in power and in peace. This is the truth, and nothing else is true. Today we will affirm this truth again, and try to reach the place in you in which there is no doubt that only this is true. Begin the practice periods today with this assurance, offered to your mind with all the certainty that you can give. I am one self, united with my Creator, at one with every aspect of creation, and limitless in power and in peace. Then close your eyes and tell yourself again slowly and thoughtfully, attempting to allow the meaning of the words to sink into your mind, replacing false ideas. I am one self. Repeat this several times and then attempt to feel the meaning that the words convey. You are one self, united and secure in light and joy and peace. You are God's Son, one self, with one Creator and one goal, to bring awareness of this oneness to all minds, that true creation may extend the allness and the unity of God. You are one self, complete and healed and whole, with power to lift the veil of darkness from the world, and let the light in you come through to teach the world the truth about yourself. You are one self, in perfect harmony with all there is and all that there will be. You are one self, the Holy Son of God, united with your brothers in that self, united with your Father in His will. Feel this one self in you, and let it shine away all your illusions and your doubts. This is yourself, the Son of God Himself, sinless as its Creator, with His strength within you and His love forever yours. You are one self, and it is given you to feel the self within you and to cast all your illusions out of the one mind that is this self, the holy truth in you. Do not forget today. We need your help, your little part in bringing happiness to all the world. And heaven looks to you in confidence that you will try today. Share then its surety, for it is yours. Be vigilant. Do not forget today. Throughout the day, do not forget your goal. Repeat today's idea as frequently as possible, and understand each time you do so, someone hears the voice of hope, the stirring of the truth within his mind, the gentle rustling of the wings of peace. Your own acknowledgement you are one self, united with your Father, is a call to all the world to be at one with you. To everyone you meet today, be sure to give the promise of today's idea and tell him this: you are one self with me, united with our Creator in this self. I honor you because of what I am and what He is, who loves us both as one. I am one self, united with my Creator. These lessons are powerful. These words have power. Remember, in the introduction to the workbook, Jesus said, you may not believe these ideas, you may actively resist these ideas. It will not have any effect on their efficacy. They're just the laws of the universe, and they're going to work whether you have belief in them or not. Just try it. Just do it. Just do the exercises. Just say the words. And I cannot tell you how often the voices of the world come into my mind, and the ego is just battering away at my mind and taking me down into a spiral of something. And all I have to do is open A Course in Miracles and read whatever I land upon. Something will resonate truth within me, and it is so powerful. This one is another one. These lessons that are very deliberately and very powerfully and very clearly reminding you over and over again who you are, because that is the one problem that we have. We think that we are separate from God. We think we are someone else. We don't remember who we actually are. I continue to be absolutely blown away with the divine timing of these lessons, with what is coinciding in my life experience. I have spoken about this conversation I had just a few days ago with a friend, and I found it so odd as we were sitting there talking that she asked me this question: well, do you even know who you are? It was such an odd turn of the conversation that it kind of startled me. It took me aback a little bit, not in a way that made her guilty, but in a, what is this? Why? How did the conversation get here? And based on these lessons and the oddity of that conversation, I can only say I think the Holy Spirit was speaking through my friend. Who do you think you really are? Like, who are you really? Do you even know? And do you think how you're showing up is a representation of that and her perspective of that. And it honestly made me question a lot of things, and I think it's good to look at it. But I prayed about it, and then now these are the corresponding assignments from the day after on in the workbook. He's telling me who I am. I think it was more about a commitment from the Holy Spirit. It was a question. God speaks through our brothers. It was a question of, are you fully committing to this? And let's make sure before we move forward that we are in the right headspace, that we're in the right consciousness and coming from the right point of view, perspective. And do you know who you really are? And are you ready to rock and roll with this? That's what I get from that experience. I'm just being very honest with you about what is coming up in my life and how timely it is to iterate to you. That is how the Holy Spirit works. When you begin to do these lessons, you're given opportunities. I also kind of get the would you fold? If your best friend told you something that you, from her perspective, that you don't resonate with, would you fold? Would you throw it all away? Would you doubt? And like I said, I think it's good to question and look at it, not dwell on what doesn't resonate with what you know to be true in your soul. I'm one self, united with my Creator, as this lesson says. I am as God created me. You are one self. He tells you who you are within this lesson. I think that we have to come back and recommit to that inner knowing, moment by moment by moment by moment. And that has been my experience. This pep talk here at the end of the lesson, especially, 12 and 13, but number 14, that paragraph. Do not forget today how important you are. When I say that you are a miracle worker, I do not say that lightly. I do not say that naively. I do not say that with anything but the utmost seriousness and urgency, and trying to drive in the importance of you remembering who you are and why you're here. The world is at a turning point. It has always been full of fear. It has always been full of chaos and conflict. Now more than ever, we need you to take up your little part in bringing happiness to all the world. This is not to scare you, but it is to impart within you the absolute necessity of all of us getting on the same page and remembering the power and importance of the consciousness of love to transform not only our own lives, but the entire world experience, our collective experience. Be the change you wish to see. If you understand the law of cause and effect, the power of your mind, it starts with us and then transforms collectively. You are so important, and this lesson is emphasizing the importance of you and who you are and why you're here. So I ask you, like my friend asked me, do you really know who you are? And are you showing up authentically as that in the world? That is what A Course in Miracles is aiming for us to accomplish. Know thyself, and then be that within a world that needs so much what you have to offer. The holiness, the love, the light, the solutions, the peace, the joy, the happiness that you would bring in a world that is so desperate for that. Let's get to work, miracle workers.